with your gifting and what you do on the app, but I know in your personal life that you work in an industry that requires someone to be pretty selfless. So what type of work do you do?
Well, I am a supervisor to a medical billing department. So most of my years have been, as far as work goes, in the business department for healthcare.
Yeah. And do you enjoy that? How did you find yourself getting into the healthcare industry? Because there's a lot of routes you can take.
Well, I actually hate needles, but I wanted to initially be a pediatrician.
Mm.
But I love children and I hate needles, and the needles overweight the children. So I said, so I
I,
said, you know what? We're just gonna stay in the
well,
business.
I guess it's better than the opposite if you hated children and love needles. But that's a completely different interview, and this is a featured show,
Right.
so we'll keep it that way. So keep it with the kids. So these days you are working in the doctor's office, and then you find time to be a streamer. Now I don't want to out you too hard here, but I do know that you're a Plenty of Fish streamer.
Yes. Shout out to POF, POF.
Okay. Now, as a Plenty of Fish streamer, I do always say that each platform is, we're all the same community. So whether you're a Plenty of Fish streamer, Meet Me, Scout, Badoo, Chispa, it should seem like the same experience because it is the same experience. But I do know that initially, when you download Plenty of Fish, many people do not arrive to it for live streaming. Was that your case? Did you know that live existed when you downloaded Plenty of Fish?
I had no idea. I was just trying to look for a man.
Man, wow. So Lube was on the market.
I definitely was.
We're using past tense. What's
Oh, well,
changed?
no. I mean, I came on initially looking for a man. Now, am I on this app looking for a man? No, but am I open to it? Yes.
I can see the geometry going on here. All right, so you're not looking, but you're looking. Elaborate. What's the minimum qualification? If they're okay, let's ask this. If someone's a live viewer of yours, do you feel like you would be at least open to entertaining the idea of the DMs being open?
Oh, I don't entertain DMs. And some of you in here, I've seen you and I see you slide in the DMs and you know that they don't go entertain. So
Why is that? Why is that?
I just feel like there's so many reasons. I mean, I've had people on my gifters board, don't go looking now, guys, that tried to gift me so that they can slide in the DMs. And it's just, I don't want to kind of don't gift me if you're trying to date me, like kind of, and then stop gifting me if I don't want to date you.
Okay.
So
Okay. Let's do a recap, everyone. So if you're interested in Lube, do not watch her streams. Do not gift her. In fact, she doesn't even exist. Then you might have a chance. That seems like a good strategy to never finding someone. But whatever your approach is, maybe it does work. Let's pretend in a hypothetical world, though, that you were open to talking to someone from the platform or off the platform. What do you look for in a partner?
ooh, open communication and a sense of humor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Open communication, just not in the DMs.
I mean, if I'm interested in you and you really slide into my DMs, you're going to get a response.
As Jim Carrey said, there's a chance. Welcome to Suit It Up. We're currently joined by Lube in the box. She is down to not meet, but possibly meet the love of her life. And she's also streaming, making moves on the platform. You can catch conversations like this and two other people every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. As mentioned in the beginning of our conversation, well, actually, is your intro. You recently crossed some of the thresholds to get that top badge. Now, that's something that many people strive to do. Now, is that an ultimate goal for you to be a top badge?
Um, I mean, I'm not stressing myself or my supporters to make me get there, but if it's something that I do meet, then it's something that I would apply for.
Okay. Here's the trick to that, because I'm getting a little tricky with you. You told me that you like to hide your VIP badge. If you, it's not a possibility, But what's the difference then of the top badge versus hiding the VIP badge?
I don't know. I guess you can't hide your top badge. And you get more, how do you say it? You get more privileges.
Okay.
There are times when I'm not a VIP because I can't be a VIP, and I've been banned for things that I was not doing. And I mean, I have to wait out those 2 weeks, 3 weeks for being innocent. But if I was a top badge, I could get that looked at. So there.
I think you can talk to a lot of top hats to tell you that's not completely the case. But I understand where you're going with it.
They're a priority. They're a priority.
And to have different types of visibility within the community. I do
Right.
understand that. And as a top badge, I'm sure people would define or find a quality, something that differentiates you. And one of them may be a certain talent of yours, well, at least a former talent and passion. And it involved your feet. Now, what were you doing with your feet that had people so interested?
Making wine. No, I'm kidding. I used to be a dancer.
Okay.
I miss it. It was one of my biggest passions. It still kind of is. I used to be an instructor. I've choreographed. I've done all kinds of. It was fun while it lasted.
This is very cool because you said you used to be a dancer, so it's a hidden talent just waiting to be rediscovered. What type of dancing were you doing?
But my favorite was hip hop. I love hip hop. Yeah, jazz funk.
There's a lot of hip hop dancing. I know you may not believe this, but I used to be friends with a lot of b-boys, and I used to go to break competitions. This is not a joke. This is real.
Right.
So what type of were you doing? Breaking? Were you doing like tutting? Like what type of hip hop?
I mean, I could do a little bit of pop, but most of mine was very femme hip hop. So very I would incorporate like jazz funk in there. Primarily femme hip hop. Popping and all that. But I could never break dance. But I have been to break dance competitions, but never.
That's still really cool and an impressive talent to have. I'm going to ask you a question that may have a portion of the audience leave, depending on how you respond to this. So before I position this question, number one, hit the favorite on Lube now so that you may hit the unfavorite button if you need to. But also stick around because we have 2 more guests coming up, so don't go anywhere. A lot more content, a lot more conversations to have. So as a dancer, what brand of shoe did you wear?
Feeless. No, I'm kidding. Well, when I did ballet, I was either in my ballet shoes or barefoot. Nikes, was it? Nikes.
Unfortunately, you can keep your favorites, everyone. That's good. Checks out. Judges say it checks out. That's cool. That's cool. There's no wrong answer. But did you actually have a preference of footwear? Because that was something when I at least had experience with dancers is that they would ride or die for a particular brand.
Oh no, for me, I always wore Nikes. I didn't have a preference. My whole thing was just like, don't be late to rehearsal. Don't be late to rehearsal. So
what would it take to bust out an old pair of the shoes? What would it take to get you back into some choreographing?
I've started choreographing at home on my own to see if I still got what it takes. And I might be having one of my fellow streamers on here record some videos of me with my choreography.
I think that's a great idea. In fact, we have a fellow streamer on here who used to be a Philadelphia 76ers dancer. And she has a dance show on here every week. She teaches people how to do trending dancing. Her name's Katie B. Gotta dance with Katie B. So if you wanted to get back into the groove, that could be how you do the step of things.
True.
Maybe. I don't know. So you could check it out. Maybe do a little collaboration. As a dancer, what would you say was the high point? Did you ever have a performance or something that really stuck out?
Well, I did audition for the Laker Girls, but I didn't make it. I'm here.
You were close. I can
I
feel
made I made the first that's it. It was so difficult. There's like over 300 girls.
I bet
Hmm.
it's the Lakers. But that's still really cool that you put yourself out there like that. And
Right.
who knows? Maybe you still have a future in it. This is the first step in it. So Lube, I know there's many things that we could talk about. I'm looking at the time here. I want to make sure that we get everything in that you had intended to talk about. So is there something that you would like people to know about you that we haven't brought up, or maybe a secret talent, confession, anything at all that comes to mind?
No, I don't believe that I have any talents. I just think that I mean, they call when I stream, people refer to me as they think I'm a teacher or a therapist. They always ask me. And I think it's just my character, my personality that I would say that that's probably something I can say about myself, that people would look at me and not assume that I would be so into people's thoughts and
Mm. That you are an attentive listener,
yes,
an
yes. But
attentive.
on the flip side, I'm also very immature. So I mean, I will I do
What immature in which way?
like I think fart noises are hilarious. Like I mean,
Like
if
like
you
just like a straight up like whoopee cushion sound.
right,
Do
like
people like come into your box specifically to harass you that way?
uh, I have Top Badge Brody that will come into my stream because he knows this, and
Wow.
he'll just be like like. So there are people that know this about me, and they do get a kick out of hopping in the box and just throwing different fart noises.
That's so funny in a way. I in elementary school, it was middle school, had a teacher who would visibly react, like have like a gag reflex to people making fart sounds. Can you imagine a worse position to be in than a middle school teacher and telling a group of boys in math class not to make fart noises every time she turned around? Like it was probably the worst environment she could have ever been in. So good thing that you have the teacher look, but encourage flatulence. So if you're gassy and you're looking to slide in the DMs, don't, because Lou Bay told you here first. This is suited up. Lou Bay, any last things you'd like to say before we wrap up today?
No, I just want to thank everybody, every one of my friends that did stop by here. I didn't catch everybody, but I do appreciate. I was so nervous to get on here. A lot of my friends encouraged me to become a streamer, and I don't always believe that I can become one. But people on and on, like Smurfy off the app, we have different time frames, but she in my DMs is always telling me like, keep going, like you're great. And you know, she's a friend. Bay, my number one gifter all time. He is so supportive, always in my streams. Like just, you know, somebody comes for me, he's coming for you too.
All right, we're pushing the show a little bit. Sorry, everyone, buckle up. Yeah, this is an interesting statement, and it's definitely worth elaborating on because you're expressing that you have, and I don't want to use a word that you didn't use, but you second guess. You second guess your streaming ability. Why is that? What do you believe that your conversations aren't interesting? That just you as a person present is not engaging? Like that's a pretty hard leap to say. I don't know, if I feel like I'm doing well at streaming.
Well, I just feel like sometimes, you know, we all have a personal life off the app and we come here to really kind of just relax. So I feel like although I'm super funny and a lot of people know, like they tell me, oh, you're so hilarious. And I feel like sometimes my streams can be, because I am a topic streamer, that a lot of times they can be a little too serious, that people just want to chill and have fun. And I feel like, but this is who I am. I like to discuss topics. I like to be serious, but in the midst of my seriousness, I will throw in a joke or a fart noise. So I feel like I kind of push viewers away sometimes. Like when I do have the time to stream at night times, people want to have fun. And I want to have a conversation. And
Okay, that makes sense. Lube, I'm rooting for you. I think you've got what it takes to be a great streamer. You are a great streamer. So hold that confidence despite me pushing your buttons about the stuff you wrote us or whatever. Welcome to the show and goodbye from the show. Lube, hit the favorite button on her. She's up there. She did an awesome job. Thank you so much for being here. Oh, also, one last thing, Lube, before you go. I want to say special thank you to all the promotion that you did for being on the show. I've never seen someone save so many posts from advertising to be on the show. So I really do appreciate that. That was like super nice of you. According to my stream, she's already left the box, but I imagine she'd be like, thanks, Chris. It's just because like this show is so great and everyone hit the favorite button and the whatnot. So yeah, that was Lube. Thank you so much, Lube, for being here. And thank you to Ari for helping to post that. Thank you to you for being here. This is Suited Up every Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If we can get our second guest to request the box, he goes by Booyah Boy. You got to emphasize the Booyah. Booyah Boy. That's actually the government pronunciation of his name. You heard it here. Before we go on to our next guest, though, we have to say a special thank you to you and the top gifters so far of the stream. To Curich, appreciate you. To Boy, thank you for being here. New live user, Truly. We have Shorties, E-Money Baby. Is that like a money service? Eddie, thank you so much. Steph's Just J Cowboy Emporium. Thank you. To our top 3 gifters so far this evening. In the third place spot, we have Sassy Susan. Rolling in with the sass. In the number 2 spot, we have your icon of the year, Panda. Thank you again for being here and congratulations again. And in the first place spot, with all the diamonds, we have Stu. Thank you very much, sir. That was very kind of you, Stu. Welcome to the show. Please, everyone now understand that during these shows and during these conversations, we sometimes are not able to recognize the comments, even if people are peeping. But for now, let's find out why we have Boy in the box. Hello, sir.
What's up, Chris? How you doing?
I'm so excited to have you here. This is
No, I'm excited to be here. Like, I'm honored to be here. I appreciate it.
You can't say all that, and it goes to my head. No, I actually want to spin that back around. Is something I've heard quite a bit. You know, when I was doing the prep notes about the guests that we have, is that you are a very humble and that you have quite a bit of humility as a streamer. That you, I would say, I guess the best way to position is that you have a listening side to you. Do you feel like that is a fair summary of the type of broadcast you are?
Yeah. So I have a open door policy, and my door is always open. If anybody ever needs to talk, vent, whatever. It's how it's always been. It's been like that in my streams. People know that they can come to me, DM me on my IG if they ever need to talk. But yeah, it's just something that I have learned trying to find myself again. And, sometimes you just need somebody to talk to, and maybe not so much talking back to that person or giving them advice, but, sometimes people just want somebody to talk to and just get it off their chest. So a lot of times I take a phone call and just let them scream at me, just get it out. So
that can be sometimes what someone needs. And sometimes that's a Wendy's drive-thru or a McDonald's drive-thru. Ice cream machines broken too often. Right. When you say find yourself again, though, what that sounds like there was a catalyst. Like one day you didn't wake up and go, well, what am I doing? There may have been some more to that. Do you feel comfortable talking a little bit about what led you to saying, I need to rediscover how I am?
It's a long story, but just to make a long story short, a little over a year ago, I was in a very, very dark place where I failed at suicide. So it was a really bad situation, and I was able, after waking up, it was like, I'm supposed to be here for a reason, and I got to figure it out. And so since that day that I woke up, it's been nothing but positive. Like, I think more positive. I try to put out positivity as much as I can. I wake up every morning, and even in my streams, I say it every single day. They say, come in, they say, how are you? I say, I'm blessed. I
Sure.
woke up today. Because every time we wake up on this side of the dirt, we're blessed. It's a great day, no matter what happens. So, I just try to flip a switch in people's brains to, see those small blessings that you don't really see that often.
Yeah, it's sometimes the little wins that accumulate to be the big wins.
Yep.
DJ Khaled taught me that. I don't know if you've ever watched his TikToks or Instagrams, but he is very inspiring too. But in your case, I know that you inspire people and you work with people with that open door policy. How did you find that this was the platform or this was the space that you wanted to widen that message and have more of an audience for that? Did you know that that's what you wanted? Had you already had these feelings prior to broadcast?
No, because I was going through all this stuff when I hit the go live button.
Okay.
So I, got on POF and I saw that live feature and I clicked on it and I said, what's this button do? And then I started talking to people and people were coming in and getting to know people, and me being able to just talk kind of helped. And so after I started, basically airing out all my stuff and getting it off my chest, I said, what if I, open that door for anybody else that may need it?
Sure. And while we're talking with Booyah Boy, be sure to hit the favorite button. He is our second guest. This is Suited Up. It's an interview talk style show that we do every Wednesday at 9. One more guest still coming up. Don't go anywhere. You said in the beginning of the conversation, or towards the beginning, that open door policy, sometimes someone needs someone to listen. Do you feel like the live community was an extension of that for you too, though? That you were able to be heard and seen in some ways?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I went to what is called Celebrate Recovery. It's kind of like AA, but it's Christian based.
Okay.
And but I went for anger, depression, and anxiety. And sitting in a circle and talking to people and them not giving me any feedback.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's telling me what to do or suggesting anything. All they say is, "Thank you for sharing," and that's it. It felt good. And so really? I tell them all the time, them being the people that are all throwing those eyes down there, because it's the eyes for me. I tell them all the time, like, they don't understand how much they saved me. Like, mm-hmm. they're a big reason why I'm even still here.
Sure.
So yeah.
If we can backtrack to what you had said, you said that you would share and be vulnerable, and then they would say, "Thank you for sharing." Mm-hmm. I want to get into that mindset for a moment, because if I had to think about what that feels like, divulging into some of the darkest moments of my life or most intimate and personal details, mm-hmm. and then not understanding how that was received, not even having like a confirmation. Talk to us just a little bit about why that for you was the right way to be heard, because that's a really interesting take.
I mean, I'm one of those people that I like to handle stuff on my own. I like to handle my feelings on my own. If I'm going through something, I'll lock myself up, not talk about it, and just work through it, right? Mm-hmm. But a lot of people that know me, here, friends, right? They know that I'm going through stuff, and it was actually suggested to go to Celebrate Recovery. And so I went, and the first time I went, I was sitting in the circle, and I'm like, this is dumb. And then it got to me, they're like, you want to share? I'm like, no. Well, something told me to go back. And then so I went back the next week, and then I opened up, and it was like a huge weight lifted off me because I got it out. Yeah. And so I think, like I said, I'm one of those people who like to do stuff on my own. Mm-hmm. Them just hearing me and not saying a single word helped me out. And I took more from that than somebody come to me and be like, well, there's going to be a better day tomorrow, or, the cliche things to say.
Sure.
So yeah, it helped out a lot by them just not even saying anything.
Right. Without getting into the details of it, did hearing other people's experiences shed any light on your own with hearing? I'm sure you heard situations that felt similar, that felt wildly different, but did
Yeah.
hearing other, yeah, go ahead and go with that thought.
Yeah, no, I've had people come in here in my streams and they have really bad days. You know, and I've had because I do tell my story every so often. We actually talked about my story just a couple nights ago.
Sure.
And I'll get messages like, hey, like I was in your stream, I can relate, and this is what's happening. And, you know, I'm just like, look, you're going through a storm right now, but after every single storm, there's always a rainbow. You got to hang on. You got to wait for your rainbow to come, and everything's going to be all right. That's the most cliche thing to say is everything's going to be okay. But it's true. It really is true.
Well, thank you. The shirt's too tight. Thank you for getting into the details of that.
Yeah.
Everyone has a different experience and everyone processes differently. And you were speaking from your own experience. And one of the greatest takeaways from that story just to hear is that you said that it was someone or people within the live community who helped to get that ball rolling and initiate that. It shows you what the power of connecting with people from around the world can bring.
Yeah, no, I've met some really amazing people on this app. Lifelong friends. I've met people off this app, and again, they don't truly understand like how much they help, and even like I'm not perfect, right? So we still have demons that we struggle with, you know, every now and again, but you know, there's always somebody else that comes in here and someone new, and then it turns into a connection and it continues. It's just a wheel that just keeps going downhill, and it's been a hell of a ride for sure. Right.
Well, you're doing a great job at it. And as mentioned many times, make sure you're hitting the favorite button on our guests tonight, including Booyah Boy, who's in the box. Boy. I'm going to shift gears here a sec. Take it back to how we did with our girl here at Lube. I know that you are also a Plenty of Fish streamer, and you are open and honest about that you came here for dating. You said you've met some amazing people. Have you met that amazing someone, possibly?
No. So I got on here for all the wrong reasons when I downloaded POF.
Talk to us. Talk.
For all the wrong reasons. And you know, I was very codependent. I realized that about myself. I was very codependent. I felt like I needed someone. Now I'm at a point in my life where I'm happy. Like I'm okay with being single. It's fine. I tell everybody that I am emotionally unavailable at the moment. But yeah, no, I've not met anybody that's
let's add a little bit of color to that statement. Okay. That you're emotionally unavailable now, because when I hear women complain about guys or people complain about significant others and why relationships didn't work, I think one of the key lines that they drop is, I'm just emotionally not available. So for you, I'm not saying that that's not valid or true. I think this is an opportunity for you to clarify and say, no, I'm not, but here's why, or here's what that means to me. So what does that mean to you?
I'm emotionally unavailable because I'm not looking for anything. Mm-hmm. Like if something happens, it happens. And that's really that's life. You don't know who's gonna walk into your door one day and there's going to be an instant connection, because I'm not going to lie to you. I've had those connections on this app, you know, but it's, you know, it is what it is. But, you know, I'm okay with being single. I don't need anybody, if that makes sense.
It does, and you're not 100% the hot seat here, my friend. We've had people on this show who fall in love every stream they swipe into. It's
Right.
no joke. Like they're ready every time they swipe through. That is love. But when they got people on the flip side, they're like, how many digits can I collect? Which is, their prerogative too. But you
That's their
said,
job.
I've got my business that I'm trying to handle, and that's working on myself. And if the right person comes, then okay, let's see where that door goes. I'll also give you the same question that we threw at Lube, which is, what types of qualities do you look for in a partner? Even if you're not emotionally ready, I'm sure you have somewhat of an idea of the things that you do care to see.
I mean, honestly, I don't think I have like a type, but I would like somebody who's not so serious. Someone that knows how to have fun. I don't know. I'm a romantic. People may not really see that in the streams because I act a fool. But like if I'm talking to someone or I'm with someone, it's like it's a totally different person.
All right. He says, beneath this beard and hat, we got
Yeah.
roses and bottles of wine and candlelight Netflix dinners. It's perfect. So whatever your prerogative is, my friend. Booyah, I'm looking through the time here, and I want to make sure that if there's anything that's coming up, I know you have some events that you're a part of. You want to promote them, shout anything out. This time's yours.
So I'm gonna be on Silly Lily's show this coming Friday. Just for a little bit, she's having a little bit of a special show to just promote some. Basically, what would you tell your 18-year-old self? And so she's having me on the show to come in and just speak about that a little bit. Also, I got an auction coming up with Jill with a G, Win a King, on the 24th. And then I'll be in Top Badge Smurfy's stream on the 25th for the Spring App Olympics.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
we got a little bit going on.
yeah. Wait, that's a lot of events, and that's more reason for people to hit the favorite button on you, Mr. Booyah Boy in the box. Thank you so much for being here, my friend. Thank you
Yeah,
for
I
being
appreciate it. Again, I appreciate you, Ari. Thank you for reaching out and asking me to be on the show. It was a pleasure.
Yeah, same here, my friend. Thank you so much for being here. We got Booyah Boy in the box. It's suited up every Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. He was there doing the thing. We got some show plugs and shout outs to do here. Again, this is a show every Wednesday at 9. It's a talk style show. Sometimes we switch things up. Sometimes I stumble over words. Sometimes I forget to say certain things. But this time I'm not. And it's that to say thank you to you. Thank you for being here and watching. And thank you for all your generosity with these gifts. While I'm shouting out these gifters, if our third guest, Cozy, would please request the box. Let's give a special shout out to our top 10 gifters so far. We have new live user in that 10 spot, hanging on for life. We've got Shorties, E-Money Baby in that number 8, 9 numbers are tough spot. Eddie coming in the 8th place spot. Just Jay in 7. Sassy, Susan in the 6th place spot. My guy Matthew in the 6th place spot. In 5th place, we have B-Rad, famous for the movie Malibu's Most Wanted. In the 4th place spot, truly, your top 3 gifters that gifted this stream. So I guess there are top 3 gifters. In the 3rd place spot, the icon winner, Pandemonium, Panda himself. In the 2nd place spot, we have Stu. Thank you, Stu. And in the 1st place spot, with all the gifts, all the diamonds, she goes by Flirt Queen. Was she flirting with our last guest? I don't know. She's like, I regret sending that guy any gifts. Thank you so much for all the generosity, and thank you for being here. To our 3rd and final guest, you may have seen her advertised for $19.99 in an infomercial. Well, if you thought that, you'd be wrong, because she's not Snuggie, she's Cozy, and welcome to the show, Cozy. I've never had someone do that before. That was really cool. Are you this isn't a game show. I don't know if you know.
I know. I'm very
right.
aware. I'm very aware of the show.
Okay.
Suit Up with Chris Casper.
I appreciate the enthusiasm. I had a flashback to watching The Price is Right when that happens. Like, Kobe, come on down. You're the next guest on The Price is Right. Ah! You know, it's like that's like the best way to segue. But Kobe, here on the show, wait for me to kill the happiness of someone who's actually happy to be here. I'm the worst host on this app. Cozy, honestly, thank you for being here, and actually, thank you honestly.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. So Cozy, to get down to business, just to get into it, you have a show that you've been working on, and this was brought to my attention, and I really want to know what this is about because it's called Cozy Pillow.
Cozy's Pillow is something that I've been thinking about for a while now. I've been trying to piece together my information and how I wanted to present the show. I had many options in mind, but I wanted to, embrace the men and the women.
Sure.
My ideas, of course, because women are emotional, my idea was leaning towards what women may think. So I was like, oh my God, it's going to run the men off. So now I have to rekindle my knowledge and hopefully get suggestions from other guys. I want to be able to keep both.
Okay.
I want both to be, active and wanting to be there, throughout the show.
Well, Cozy, this may come as a surprise to you. I am not that masculine. So I think I might be able to help with your show if you want a person who's a guy. I think I'm a guy. I mean, let's switch it up. This is Suited Up, and one of the things we do best here is try our best to fill time. So for this conversation, I think it'd be really cool for you to throw something out there. So when you say you would like to retain a male audience or people who identify as male or masculine,
right?
What type of content do you think might be pushing them away or having them say, nah, I don't want to be a part of this?
Because at first I wanted to talk about relationship advice, or how do you feel if this happened? How do you feel if that happened? My title was Pillows Talk with Cozy because I wanted late at night. Everybody grab a pillow, get comfortable. You can come in your PJs, just make it nice, or come as you are per se. However you feeling, you can come in here with Kirk Franklin. You can come in here with Lou Boosie, like just whatever. Bring yourself. I want you. However you are, whatever's in your heart, just be here. And I want you to have a great time. And I want you to be able to communicate and feel safe and feel like this is where I want to be.
Yeah.
You have to want to be here.
I got to tell you, part of your idea is just genius. Can I tell you what I think is just genius about it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Is that you want people to come in their PJs with a pillow. You're not going to lose any audience if they're all asleep. That is the most ingenious way to retain an audience. So, Cozy, let's make sure your audience isn't falling asleep, though, because we really want them to enjoy that content. I think that you should keep working on this. I know a guy who might be able to help with an idea. Okay.
Absolutely.
So that being said, from that little hot take, though, you like to get into the details. You like to get into the conversations with people.
Absolutely.
Do you feel comfortable being vulnerable with people yourself?
Yes.
Yeah. And how did you get comfortable in a live environment to do that?
Well, in general, that's how I am, like, as a person, and how I am in real life. I'm gonna call it real life. Like, I hate when people say that, but I'm gonna say it. So real life is generally like how you go day by day. How I am at work, how I am around my family, my friends, off the app. I want to be that same, like I bring the same energy. Mm-hmm. This is who I am. I don't want to have to change it up just because we're on screen.
Sure.
Yeah, my words and how I may say things may be different, but this is who I am. And it
translates pretty well. If this is the energy that you have in real life, It was
Mhm.
probably meant for streams. It was meant for a camera because that's a lot of personality to put in just the real life. So no, to an audience that's great. And also, just as like a quick side note too, thanks for dressing for this occasion. The fantastic outfit. I see the. So I'm gonna show it off. I was looking at this thing. I saw you had like the bedazzles. You know, that's really cool. I dig that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You
Uh,
can't be the only one that's cute on here.
well, at least you are. Okay, I do really bad with that kind of stuff. But to cozy, thank you. Number two, I'm
Absolutely.
sure you would not wear that outfit though if you were to go horseback riding, which is an interest of yours, if I'm not mistaken.
Absolutely. No, I would not wear this because it's a dress and I don't want, you know, to be bareback on a horse. I would
Right.
absolutely have on pants and
Yeah.
not a dress.
Now,
Absolutely.
I think you could do it if you had a sword. Like if you were wearing that outfit with a sword, it would look very intentional, like you meant to wear that dress with the horse. So,
Absolutely.
you know, I'm just putting that out there. How did you get into horseback riding though? That's an expensive thing to get into, isn't it?
Because growing up, my family owned we had a farm, so we had horses. That's just what we did. You go to rodeos. That's how you show yourself. That's how you. It was a sport for us. I grew up in Mississippi. Right now, you know, I moved to Texas like 10 years ago. So it's just how I was brought up and raised.
You were on a farm. You grew up on a farm?
I absolutely did. We had all type of animals. Yes.
Was it a livestock farm for butchering? Or did you do the eggs? You know, what was the situation around this farming activity?
No, our chickens dropped the eggs and we bust them open and had them for breakfast. My dad, mom had 14 children, so we didn't like go to grocery stores. We presented our own crops right there. We had hog killings. They killed hogs. We had 4 fishing ponds, so they fished and skinned the fish right there. We had fish fries. It was just real country per se.
You're not even afraid of the zombie apocalypse because you're like, I already know how to do the livestock.
It's not much that I'm afraid of.
I know if you ride a horse, I'm pretty sure you're fearless because I don't know if people have seen a horse in real life. They're huge. And something else that's huge is the opportunity to favorite Cozy in the box right now. You should be favoriting Cozy because she's our third guest on Suited Up. It's an interview and talk style show that we do every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Okay, on the farm thing though, I have to know. I just have to know so that when I'm laying to go to sleep tonight, I won't have to think about it. Did you name any of the animals that you ate? Because I hear that's a taboo that you don't do that.
I do not name.
You do not. It's like pig 1, pig 2, pig 3.
No, I only named my dog, and we had it as a pet in the house. I didn't eat that.
Okay. Well, thank you for clarifying. The show can go in a lot of directions. I'm happy that wasn't one of them. So you okay? So you didn't name the animals. Case closed on that.
Absolutely.
You know, do you still horseback ride these days though? Do you still farm, or are you in the city life?